This is AEDT 1170U, Psychological Foundations in Digital Technologies. This is the final assignment of a 12-week course, and it is prepared for Dr. Wendy Barber and teaching assistant Stacy Taylor. This is presented and prepared by Brendan Oldman. So the assignment at hand. We are to choose an issue that we wish to explore in detail. The topic must fit in with the human psychological interactions within technology. So being able to blend my level of interest with relation to the human need, being constantly connected and staying continuously connected in this form of educational environment has been very beneficial. It has led me to think about things over the past 12 weeks. Why do we need to be connected all the time? Why do we need new ways to communicate through and progress this already advanced form of communication? And what are the effects of being continuously connected, mentally and physically? This led me into a new area of research, and something that I've always believed to be just as dangerous as the initial way of doing it, and that is hands-free communication. Hands-free mobile devices. After extensive research for our Week 2 case study assignment, I have become more and more intrigued in the psychological attachment humans have today within their mobile phones. As people become increasingly inseparable of their devices, society is continuously making it easier for us to stay connected and harder for us to focus on one task. The topic I chose to explore is hands-free mobile devices, and I have focused on their direction and the direct connection to distracted drivers. So constant connection can actually put us all at risk. The fear of missing out on something or someone important has made our everyday commutes even more dangerous than they already are. Many provinces and states have realized this danger and banned the use of handheld devices while driving. Yet hands-free devices are completely legal, although they have been proven to be equally treacherous and distracting to drivers. Everyone is so eager to stay connected all the time, but at what costs?
Is considering banning the use of all phone devices in cars, including hands-free sets, after new research suggested it's more distracting than talking to a passenger. Our US correspondent Dominic Waghorn reports.
Most American states have already banned texting behind the wheel, like Britain, but new research here is pushing the US government to go further. Federal authorities say even using hands-free mobile phones in the car is more dangerous than we think.
Well, what we do know from the research is that talking on the phone, whether it's handheld or hands-free, is more distracting than having a conversation with a passenger next to you.
Brain imaging helped US researchers test how distracting hands-free phones can be behind the wheel. Just listening to a hands-free device can divert more than 37% of the brain's activity from driving, according to one study, reducing concentration by more than a third. Enough, say researchers, to make drivers swerve from one lane to another. Outrage over accidents like this one in Missouri, caused by a driver texting behind the wheel, is also pushing authorities towards a total ban on mobile phones while driving.
So the real brain power. Research has shown that the majority of motor vehicle accidents occur during left-hand turns. This information led us to further investigation, which determined that a part of a person's brain needed to process vision and maintain alertness. This is critical for making left-hand turns, is largely obstructed during any kind of conversation, regardless of how that conversation is carried out. Statistics show that those drivers using hands-free devices are just as likely to get into an accident as drivers using handheld devices. Instead of solely focusing on the primary task of driving, blood in your brain is redirected to that part that is used to process conversations. Tom Schwarzer, director of the Neuroscience Research Program at St. Michael's Hospital here in Toronto, Ontario, hit the nail on the head when he said, hands-free isn't brains-free. You're still distracting the individual. You're still processing information, which could take brain resources away from the primary task of driving. It's all in the numbers. All of the statistics are there to show us how dangerous driving while on the phone can be, but many drivers justify hands-free devices as a safe way to do it because they are legal. So in 2009, Webster's Dictionary named distracted driving its word of the year. And a 2003 study of the US crash data states that driver inattention is estimated to be a factor in between 20 to 50% of all police-reported crashes. The increasing number of fatalities and injuries every year speak for themselves. In addition to the thousands of fatalities, more than 2.2 million injuries resulted from vehicle crashes in 2008 alone. In this date On this date of 2013, drivers in Canada who are caught using mobile devices while driving will receive a $155 ticket. Those who try to fight their ticket in court could end up paying upwards of $500 in expulsion fees. So the inattention blindness. Studies have shown that drivers engaging in a phone conversation, whether they are hands-free or not, actually see 50% less of their surroundings. Although they may be looking at the road, an overload of information to the brain does not allow for it to function properly and process all of that information at one time. The major challenge is performing the cognitive demanding tasks at the same time. Inattention, or inattentional blindness, is defined according to Wikipedia as the failure to notice an unexpected stimulus that is in one's field of vision whether other attention demanding tasks are being performed. In order for the brain to compensate for an overload of information, it filters out certain things without us knowing it. According to the National Safety Council, drivers talking on hands-free cell phones are more likely to see both high and low relevant objects. They miss visual cues critical to safety and navigation. They tend to miss exits, go through red lights and stop signs, and most importantly, navigational signage. They use less peripheral vision and tend not to check their mirrors and other important instruments as often as they should. So you are now under the PRP effect. The PRP, psychological refractory period, refers to the slowing in reaction times while multitasking. Recent research has shown that this effect is directly related to the distracted driving. During a study by the University of California, students were placed in a driving simulator, and some were exposed to the stimuli and others were not. The stimuli varied between vocal, visual, and manual responses. All who were exposed to the stimuli demonstrated slower response times than those who were not. Other people in studies go as far to suggest that driving while on the phone is comparable to drunk driving, in the sense that you are all equally impaired in judgment and response time.
This is an awareness test. How many passes does the team in white make? The answer is 13. But did you see the moonwalking bear?
So software technologies. Hands-free calling users become subject to the same types of technological issues that landline and mobile users experience, especially when it comes to echoes and noise. Although current technology has made advancements in this area, the software can only do so much to cancel out background noises and create a loud, clear, and concise voice so that the caller on the other end is able to converse. As with any other piece of technology, results can vary from very poor to excellent. A time and a place for everything. Of course, not everything surrounding hands-free technology is negative. It definitely has its benefits and has been proven to provide exceptional assistance for those in specialty workforce areas such as police, firefighting, armed forces, and other specialized units. It has been able to equip these professionals with important information and allow them to keep in close and secure contact with fellow members. The benefits this tool provides to those particular individuals is invaluable, but not necessarily to the everyday commuter. New and now. In 2012, Ford debuted their new Sync system, which I'm sure we've all heard about. This system not only allows us to make hands-free calls right from the vehicle, but it also changes the radio station and send and receive texts and emails through voice commands. According to product developers at Ford, they believe consumers will not disconnect while on the road, so they are trying to stay ahead of the game with advanced systems that allow them to do just that. A little more safety might be needed though. So in conclusion, hands-free communication is a new level of mobile communication. And for many, it is a necessity for life. Whether your never-ending workday prolongs on the drive home, you run your own emerging business and need to be reachable, or just have a big family always looking to talk and stay up to date, everyone seems to have a reason to stay connected. Wireless technology has been growing for ages now, and hands-free systems have been in several areas of expertise for decades. What makes this old concept of technology new is the way technology engulfs us mentally, and the new ways of showcasing our communication. In this 1960s cartoon, The Jetsons, used to showcase future-forward ideas such as video calling in a residential home, and everyone thought that it was nuts and not something the average consumer would ever see in our lifetime. Today, ideas like this are very real and moving forward in a very fast way. Although technology is available to us, it does not mean we should always be using it. Studies and research clearly show that too much information overloading effects of our brains and our ability to properly carry out tasks. Driving is one of the most dangerous tasks we face on a daily basis, with over 40,000 deaths and 2.2 million injuries every year resulting from vehicle crashes. It takes a lot of focus and brain power to drive in itself, let alone trying to do something like listening to music, eating, or engaging in a detailed conversation. Thank you very much for viewing my presentation. I really did have a great semester with you guys, and I look forward to continuing AEDT next year. I hope you're both teaching the course. Thanks guys, and if you do have any further questions, feel free to email me. And the following slide here is references related to this presentation. A couple of them are PDF documents, and the bottom two links are YouTube links, but I had to adjust them because it was not letting me, it was just putting the video in, so I had to take out a few of the slashes. So if you'd like to access them, you just have to spell out YouTube properly. Okay, thanks and have a great summer, guys. Bye now.